This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by TidalHealth.
40 seconds. It could be the amount of time that you heat up a muffin. It could be how long your team needs to hang on for the big win. Maybe 40 seconds is the time that it takes to get to the chorus of that favorite song. 40 seconds. It's not a long time at all, and that's why this next statistic is so eye-opening. Studies show that every 40 seconds, someone in this country has a stroke. We would like to introduce to you this afternoon, this is Dr. Michael Bounds. He's a vascular surgeon at TidalHealth Peninsula Regional. Dr. Bounds leads the transcarotid artery revascularization procedure known as TCAR. Did I say all that right?
I think so.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to the 40 seconds. That's a pretty scary statistic.
Yeah, stroke is a major problem that I think sometimes goes under-recognized, and that's one of the important reasons we're talking about it today.
So World Stroke Day is October 29th, and that's important. Why?
Well, again, when you look at people across, around the world, about 1 in 4 people will have some form of stroke over the course of their lifetime. That's a major problem, and oftentimes the signs go under-recognized.
Right.
And the real key is getting to the point where we can treat these patients before they have major problems or effects later in life.
Because of the stroke.
Right.
So can you tell us about what some of the signs are for a stroke?
So, the American Stroke Organization has sort of a new mnemonic that they've come up with called FAST.
Okay.
So the things that you look for: changes in the face, oftentimes facial drooping, arm or leg weakness, speech difficulty, and then if you see those things, the T is for time.
Right.
That means it's time to call 911 and get somebody to a hospital.
So if I see someone that I think is exhibiting these things, hospital, 911, is this something I can do something about?
The key is getting that patient to the hospital where they can be evaluated and we can figure out exactly what's going on and what the next steps are going to be to treat it.
Okay, so why is time, the last one, why is time such of vital importance?
Time's important because we have a narrow window to effectively reverse those changes. A stroke, when it happens, there are things we can do to get that brain function back. That if we don't do it immediately, those patients can end up with permanent problems or life-changing, or even life-ending problems.
Quicker the better.
Right.
Okay, all right. So you've got advanced training in minimally invasive aortic disease procedures. What kind of procedures can you do for someone who has had a stroke or is at risk of a stroke?
Right. So one of the keys with stroke, about 1 in 4 patients that have had a stroke will have another stroke in that post-stroke period.
Wow.
So that oftentimes is a window of opportunity for us to do something to change the course of that patient's life. If we can do something to prevent that second stroke, we can potentially prevent them from ending up in a nursing home or even dying from stroke.
Wow.
So one of the things that we've done, over many years is sort of removing the plaque from a carotid artery that causes a stroke or can cause a stroke.
Yeah.
More recently, we've done more minimally invasive type procedures, and one of those is the transcarotid artery revascularization, or TCAR, where we're stenting that carotid artery to prevent a second stroke.
Wow. And so it's not something you can do preemptorily, I guess?
Oh no, the key is prevention. So if we can find these patients before they have a stroke and prevent that stroke,
right.
That is definitely the goal. But oftentimes we can prevent that second stroke when they've had some warning signs or symptoms.
There's a big thing right there.
So again, warning signs and symptoms, periods where vision is lost in one eye or the other,
okay.
Speech changes, times where a patient goes numb or weak on one side of the body, difficulty walking, balance issues.
Right.
All of those things, when they happen quickly, need to be evaluated to make sure we don't have a major problem down the road.
Jump on that and find out what's going on. TidalHealth's Dr. Michael Bounds, thank you so much for talking to us this afternoon.
Thank you.